here this evening. And they, again, knocked on countless doors. Bernie McCann, I think, showed up for every canvassing day. Always used paper, not our newfangled computer gizmos. The entire guest family, Dave and Dana, Eva and Ruth, I think one or more guests showed up at every single canvassing day we had, sometimes all four of them. Dave and Cindy Evans. Dave and Cindy hosted a coffee, but most crucially, Dave is a grand master of parades, and he kept a vintage Camaro alive and even transplanted a new radiator into it to get us ready for one of the parades. And then John and Pat Fairhurst, Rick Oliver, Jason Bowles, Carol Pitzer, Pat Van Thul, Dan Rakers, Jeff Rakestraw, Jeremy Pritchett and his whole family, Don Courtney and his Corvette, Caleb Hunter, Tony Goki, Mark Abel, and James Mooney, a group collectively known as the Banshees. We won't get into that. And many others too numerous to mention. But I'd like to also thank the elected officials who had the courage to stick their neck out. There's a tendency not to get involved in contentious primaries like the one I've just made it through. But Congresswoman Ann Wagner, who you heard from earlier. Yeah. And state representatives, do we have any of our state reps here with us, Sam?
Robert was here.
Robert was here earlier. Yeah. Our state representatives, Kurt Barr, Brian Spencer, Ron Hicks, Mark Parkinson, and Kathy Conway all endorsed me early in this year. County Councilman Joe Brazel not only endorsed us, but gave a fundraiser for us at the Grapevine Wine Bistro in Defiance, Missouri. I would highly recommend you visit that establishment. And then Mayors Nick Guccione of Wentzville, Mayor Richard West of New Melle, and Mayor Jim Hennessy of Cottleville all endorsed us early. And dozens of aldermen and central committee members, many of whom are here this evening. And then I finally wanted to thank the outstanding conservative organizations that got on board with our campaign early: Missouri Right to Life, Missouri Club for Growth, Concerned Women for America, Eagle Forum. And then while these next groups don't make endorsements, I have many, many supporters from the Pachyderms clubs, from Liberty Projects, and from the various patriot groups in our county.
Thank you.
So I can't thank enough all of you for all you've done for us. Finally, I'd like to thank former Senator Scott Roop. I don't know if Scott made it here this evening, for his years of service in the State House and the State Senate. And I wish him well in serving our state on the Public Service Commission. I have a hard act to follow in succeeding Scott Roop. You know, and although those in this room tonight are pleased with the outcome of this election, I'd like to congratulate my opponents, Chuck Gatchenberger and Vicki Schneider, for a hard-fought race. You know, our system of government depends on people who have the courage to step into the arena and fight the good fight and debate the issues and to work hard and to knock the doors and to meet the voters. And I really have to thank Chuck and Vicki for their years of service in state government and for their honorable conduct of this election. So, you know, when we candidates do step into the arena and run, we're often asked the question, really the most difficult question I think of all: why are you running? Why are you doing this? You know, and I can't speak for others, but I ran for the state senate because I love my family and I love my country. And I'd like to see my children grow up with the kind of freedom and opportunity with which I was blessed.
Amen.
Amen.
And I sought this office because I saw that freedom and opportunity slipping away being threatened by the expansion of government that our founders so feared when they limited our government powers under our Constitution. I sought this office because our state and our country are hurting. You know, we're 6 years, the economists tell us, into an economic recovery, and yet we have as low a job participation rate as low a job participation rate, economic recovery as the Great Depression. And our state is 47th out of 50 in economic growth. We can do better.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned today that my oldest son, Bobby, I'm sorry, I didn't mention it. Today, I should mention that today, Bobby, my oldest son, voted for the first time. And I think he voted for his dad. If not, he might be on the missing persons report. And I remember the first presidential election I voted in was in 1980. I voted for a man named Ronald Reagan. And I think many of us agree with that statement of Ronald Reagan's. The government is not the solution to the problem. Government is the problem.
Yeah.
Or as my favorite economist, Milton Friedman, put it, if the government ran the Sahara Desert, in 5 years we'd have a shortage of sand. Well, I ran because we need to restore liberty and prosperity to our state. We need to limit government to its rightful place in our lives. We need tax reform. We need regulatory reform. We need to push back against federal government oppression, especially Obamacare. And I'm here because I believe we will only remain free so long as we remain committed to be ruled by the laws of nature and of nature's God. And among these laws of nature is the right to life, which I will continue to fight for. Again, I thank you all for everything you've done to bring us here this evening. I thank you for all your hard work, all your prayers. I really look forward to serving you in the Missouri State Senate. God bless you all. God bless the great state of Missouri. Thank you. And feel free to stay around. They may kick us out of this room around 10. We'll turn, in the meantime, until they kick us out, we'll turn the projector back on. The bar will be open, and I think the bar in the lobby will stay open for a while beyond the 10 o'clock time. But thank you all for being here this evening. Thank you.